backyard bullion here, albeit still a very croaky, cold-ridden backyard bullion, but hopefully we can last throughout the video. Now we've got an update for you on the Memorial Sovereign release from the Royal Mint. We're 24 hours out since that release, so I thought it would be a good idea to kind of have a look at where things are in terms of what's available, what's selling well, what's doing really well, what's maybe a little bit not so popular. And also I want to talk about some of the opinions out there that are forming that because it hasn't sold out within an hour, 10 minutes, or even a day, that it's a bit of a flop or a damp squib release from the Royal Mint, which I disagree with, and I'll show you my reasons why, and others as well from the Silver Forum. We've got some really good insights to share from other people too. So what is available still right now? Well, pretty much everything. In fact, right at the start of the day, I did my little trick on each one to see what was available, and typically, just as the time I sit down to actually screen record and film, one more set of this has actually come in because it was out of stock earlier today. So if we go to my little spreadsheet that I created here, I have summarized what the Royal Mint's remaining sets available are based on that little cheat. Now that's to be taken with a pinch of salt because, as I've just demonstrated here with this little back alley check, there is one in stock of the 4-coin set, so more might still become available. This is from orders being cancelled or not taken up perhaps by Mint Mark members, the VIPs and things like that. So they're as accurate as they can be, and they're of course to be taken with a pinch of salt, but generally speaking I think it's been a very successful release from the Royal Mint. So you can see here a lot of the different sets have done very well, with high sort of 90s and 80s, even of course the 100% for the 4-coin set, give or take one or two. So very, very popular, the sets. The individual coins have also done pretty well, and I think obviously we can see here one that's a little bit lower than the rest, which is the Quarter Sovereign, and I kind of get that because it's just so small. It's literally tiny. It's going to be very interesting to see how the design looks on it, but if you were given the choice, I think the bigger coins, the half, the full, or the coin sets would be the ones to go for. Very interestingly, there's another point of interest here is that the BU 5 Sov is only 82% sold, and the PIEDFORT is 93% sold. So the PIEDFORT selling very well, which I was not expecting. Of course, still available from the Royal Mint, but I think it's interesting that they are selling quickly. And then you can see I've got here a kind of rough summary. Again, it's based on these numbers, which are to be trusted with a pinch of salt, that the Royal Mint sold £25,089,225 worth of gold coins yesterday, which is very, very impressive. Now there is one little element which I have not factored into the calculation, and that's this 2-coin set here, which is the Proof Sovereign and a 1957 Gillick Sovereign, which I would advise nobody to buy at all. Please don't buy it. If you've bought it, refund it, because it's just overpriced. You're paying for a box basically. You might as well buy the individual Sovereign, the Proof Sovereign 695, and then go and find a 1957 Gillick head on the secondary market. You'll buy them for maybe 365, 375, maybe 400, because people are pumping it up a little bit at the moment. But even at 400, you can see you're saving yourself 250, 300 pounds. You're paying for a giant box basically to sit them in. I don't think this is a good deal. I don't think it's something that people should buy. But the sad fact of the matter is that unfortunately people are buying it because 217 are available, which out of 1,000 minted means there's 783 that have been sold. So there's a lot of people who've got a very expensive Gillick head 1957 Sovereign, unfortunately. So barring that coin, I think that it has been a very good release, and generally speaking, everything is exciting me still about this coin, this release. I think it's good, other than this bloody wonky image here. It's not difficult to fix. So there's the wonky image. I literally just fixed it with a quick 2-minute job in Photoshop. Surely the Royal Mint could do the same, but I mean, yeah, it's just, it annoys me. My OCD ticks. But other than that, I think it has been a very successful release. But there are some sentiments out there that it hasn't, and I think it's really weird in this world that we now measure the success of a coin release from somewhere like the Royal Mint based on how fast it sells instantly. And if it hasn't gone within 10 minutes like some of the great engravers, or if it hasn't gone within a few hours or days, then it's a flop. And I completely disagree. You've just got to look at the past history of some of these coins. The Jubilee 2022 Sovereign sets, they were available for a good week and a bit after release, and look at what they're doing now. Huge numbers. The Una and the Lion was available for a good 2 weeks after release, and I was umming and ahhing about buying that all the way through, and eventually decided not to. And then, of course, people were selling those, a £5,000 coin for £40,000, which is just mental. So you just never know what's going to happen with this world. And I think the fast-paced world that we live in and the expectation of things have to be humongously popular and instant gratification of a quick flip and turnaround somewhat sullies the reasons why these coins exist and why it's important to have them if you enjoy them. So I get asked awful lot, what's my thoughts and opinions on the set, on the release, and I think generally that I'm very impressed with the way that this release has gone. It's selling well. I think it will be gone within a few days, maybe a week or so, to get rid of the rest of the highest mintage remaining, which is the full sovereign sets. But I do think it will go in time. One thing that people have been asking me about as well is the mintage. The mintage is higher than the Platinum Jubilee set. Yes, the mintage is higher than those. But a very interesting and great comment from a Silver Forum member, Silver Mike, I think sums up things quite well. So this was in reply to another person's comment about whether or not this will prove to be a winner or a flop. Rightly asking those questions, and that's slightly different than the it's definitely a flop because it's not sold out within minutes comment. This is somebody who's obviously thinking the way through it. He's a newcomer, he's asking the right questions. Silver Mike did a fantastic summary, which I share a lot of the sentiments about as well. So it depends how you define a winner in terms of desirability and importance. I think, like Mike says here, that it will be desirable and important forevermore. It's an incredible design, we can all agree on that, even though it is a wonky picture on the bloody website. But we can all agree it's an incredible design. I think it's going to look great in the flesh, even better than the images we're seeing. And then when you compare it with some of the other mintages that have happened in the past for the different monarchs, the changing of monarchs, the 5 and the 2 sovereign are the two to measure against. Those are the ones that do incredibly well. Certainly when you see previous changes of the sovereign from 1989, 2002, 5, 12, etc. And in the past, you can see these mintages have been way higher. So it's, I think, stunningly interesting that people are measuring this mintage as high, that it's going to be a bit of a flop for a brand new monarch. This is completely non-consequential in my mind. I think this mintage is tiny compared with some of the others. And a similar sort of sentiment is borne out by Gold Digger Dave, who's another very active member on the Silver Forum, who rightly pointed out that back in the times when these coins came out, you had to be of very sort of decent consequence and, income, disposable income, to buy those coins on the days that they were launched. You have to excuse my voice is gonna go. Here's a little backyard rambling society sort of insight. I filmed this video once already and realized that my microphone wasn't recording the screen capture, so now I'm having to do it again. My voice is literally about to go, but we'll soldier on. Let's go. So Gold Digger Dave really does sum it up here, that I think we're in this modern world now where rather than just the few elite classes that are buying some of these coins, it is now open much more to the masses. We've got this change in sort of income relative to the price of these things, and I think for a lot of people, buying just a single sovereign of 695 is a lot of money, but it's also not so much money out of your income that you couldn't afford it. A lot of people could afford to buy it, they just maybe choose not to. In terms of affordability, that's another thing to talk about generally, because we are in this strange world where there are cost of living increase issues, inflation, and whilst there are a lot of people who could probably spend £695 on a gold coin from the Royal Mint, whether or not it's prudent to do so for them in their situation is another matter entirely. So I think Gold Digger Dave says it quite well in the last bit here, that some people have this totally instant lifestyle, and when things don't seem to move at light speed, these people don't appear to have the attention span or the ability to step back and look at the bigger picture. And I think that's what a lot of coin collectors are looking at for this, that this is a bigger picture style release and bigger picture style item that will appreciate incredibly well over time. It's something that I think we're living through history. This is the first time this monarch has changed for, the vast majority of the population, not just in the UK, but around the world. So I think it's going to be quite a long-term type of thing. We'll just have to see quite how long-term, but I think I summed it up quite well in a post I put on the forum, which is, I'm buying these for that long-term. I'm relying on holding them for a long time, enjoying them, sharing them on YouTube, and generally just enjoying the coins rather than buying for a quick flip. if you are buying for a quick turnaround flip, and we all know what the sentiments are about coin flippers, then I think you're going to be potentially stung by this. And indeed, I kind of like the fact that there are still coins available on the Royal Mint's website, because it means that the coin flippers on eBay, which are rather optimistically putting prices way above mint issue price for them, you know, it's stupid. There's still coins available at the Royal Mint's website, so why would you buy them from eBay when you could just buy them straight from the Royal Mint? You know, so these coin flippers are, I think, going to have a bit of an awakening. The sad fact of the matter is for this, unfortunately, that the coin flippers who've already bought them, if they don't get what they want, which is that quick turnaround profit, they'll just return the coins for a refund when they get them, if they haven't sold them and they can't sell them within the first 30 days. I personally think that's something the Royal Mint needs to change, but it's kind of tied up with consumer rights and all of that. So it's, yeah, a little bit odd, a little bit different, a little bit difficult, but I think this is a good release, and it's something that will be exciting. And I can't wait to show them on the channel here. So yeah, now, before my voice completely goes, without further ado, I just want to say thank you to my BYB Rambling Society members who've watched a croaky coffee backyard bullion right to the end. I do appreciate you sticking around, and that makes you into the cool club. And if you haven't subscribed and you're still watching, then what you're doing with your life, you need to subscribe and make sure that you watch some of our videos to this point in the future. Otherwise, that is it from me. We'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, please make sure that you like, share, comment and subscribe for more.